Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to the Bard's Playhouse presents Tales from Shadow Valley, Season 3, Episode 8, Fathoms Below. Thank you so much for joining us, and sorry for all of our technical difficulties this week. It wouldn't be Tales from Shadow Valley without tech issues. Now let's bring in our wonderful cast. It's just the three of us this day. We have Shane as Umbromancer Zavid,
Totally radical, dude.
and Elliot as Reese the Heartseeker.
I'm coming home, I'm coming home.
As always, I'm Lumbee Bronzearm and will be your DM for today. Last time, Lux Et Umbra set off from Absalom towards the deserts of Assyrian. Renting a nondescript paddleboat, they crossed the bay to a small, secluded, trash-filled island. From there, Zavid summoned three incredible steeds, a giant horned owl, a massive armored mole, and of course Rot Trot, bearing his new badass bat wings. As they soared across the remaining stretch of the inner sea, Lux Et Umbra was accosted by flying raiders on Dracolisk back. Khan was first to be blinded by the smoke breath of these creatures, but Reese's quick action and Zavid's shadowy magic gave her back her faculties. Amidst the chaos of battle, Zavid realized the riders were mindless undead, much to his joy. However, from behind, one of the airborne skeletons absconded with his magical staff. Giving chase, Reese put his expert tracking skills to work. Near a lighthouse, the skeletal raider disappeared. After a short search, Lux Et Umbra discovered a cave beneath their feet. Within was a strange cove filled with coconuts, caged dracolisks, and four skeletal pirates. Zavid, being the benevolent necromancer he is, offered aid to the Skellywags. A curse had been placed upon them when their ship ran aground, keeping them confined within the cove. Captain Susie McGraw raised and trained the local dracolisks, as bosun Jawless Jimmy raised mindless skeletons to ride them, and navigator twins Jean-Bart and Francois Le Debonair grew the coconuts eaten by the beasts. In exchange for helping giving them their freedom, Zavid haggled for a baby Dracolisk, a future favor, and the bones of a long-dead sea dragon. After saying goodbye to the Skellywags, Khan and Reese assisted Zavid in a day-long ritual, which culminated in the power of undeath being breathed into the gills of a truly powerful ally. That's where we're coming in today. Within the pirate cove of the Skellywags, they have already left. Khan is taking care of her new baby Dracolisk, and Zavid, you have just recently raised this new massive skeletal sea dragon. And Reese, you are off with your little magical golden idol,
Yes.
kind of focusing on that. So Zavid, let's start with you. What are you doing specifically at this point? You have recently raised this dragon friend.
Well, I would, I think I'm speaking to it. We've sort of dubbed it Cecil for now, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we talked about where the dragon's hoard might lie.
Yes. I remember. It is near the shores. Many ships would go aground there. It is deep beneath the shoals, in a hole that goes far deep.
Is it protected in such a way that even in your absence, none would disturb it?
I had wards and protections when I lived there, but I do not know how long I have been like this. Something may have come in and taken over by now.
Well, as our first task with you brought back to the world of the living, let us go secure your dragon hoard.
I would appreciate this greatly. So,
a little thing about me. I'm going to tell him about my dragon sickness. I say, I do not desire the hoard for myself, really. But ever since I took the dragon sickness from another man onto myself so that he could die and pass normally, when he left, there was no one to receive that sickness again when the spell ends, so a little bit got left on me. And when I see big hordes, I get very weird. I am not... yeah, it's not... I don't prefer it. I actually kind of like the sort of the poor man's style. It suits me. People underestimate me, and I use that to my advantage, but I'm not. I'm letting you know that this is not a sort of cash grab for me. This is more of to settle your things in life so that you can focus on our task at hand.
It is good to know one's own weakness.
Yes. If you consider giving me riches my weakness, then yes, that would be it.
All mortals have a weakness.
Sorry, yeah, I just want to continue that little roleplay bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Reese, is there anything specific you'd be liking to do before you head out? It is morning. You've slept, had a long rest.
Oh, thank goodness. I very much needed that.
Yeah, there was little tents down in the bottom area that the Skellywags had been staying in, and you were able to get a long rest in.
Okay, good. Yeah, so Reese has been, like, a lot better, especially, like, he's got a little bit more energy. He's, like, not as beat up and bloody, and just feels refreshed and happy. And he's just kind of, like, looking over the idol a little bit more, just to see if there's anything, like, you know, he can just kind of, like, say it gets lost or something. Like, if there's anything specific, he can definitely, like, key out, other than the fact that it's, like, a monkey.
Well, it's definitely old.
Okay.
And I think I might have gotten a picture of it. 1 second. I know I found some. Yeah, I did. Okay. I found. Here we go. So it is a carved golden idol of a monkey wearing pirate's outfits, and he's cooking some food. He's got like a little carrot stew on a small skillet, and he's sitting next to a picnic basket with a bunch of carrots next to him. And the eye is a really bright blue gem. And even though you aren't a caster, you get the sense that that gem is where the magic lies.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, so Reese just kind of, like, studies it more, makes mental notes now that, like, his brain is kind of, like, back in the space it needs to be. It's all good. And he just kind of, like, makes some mental notes and heads back over, honestly, to like, where Zavid is with the dragon.
And as you're doing that, you pass by Khan, and she's slowly opening the doors to the cages of all the Dracolisks, because Jean-Bart and Francois asked all of you to make sure to release all the Dracolisks. So she's going through and making sure all of them are able to leave their cages, but they still have the cages because there's bedding within all of the cages. Mm-hmm. There's no sense in destroying them, but she opens all of them before you all take off.
Perfect.
Is there anything anyone wants to do within this cave while you're here still?
No, not really. Reese doesn't have any interest.
I was gonna say, I suppose I would just get some preliminary spells cast by the time we leave.
Sure. What are your buff spells for the day?
Well, since we're going underwater, we're gonna need water breathing, so I would get that cast on all of us.
Yep, smart.
I would include this in this spell. Any familiars, little Wispy would get it. That way Wispy can follow us down into this area. I can always go into the ethereal plane just to be safe, but at least when they're not there, they can still breathe.
Sure.
Khan, obviously the sort of what are they, Dracolisks?
Yep.
That these are? Yeah. Yep. That would also, are they already amphibious, or?
I don't believe so, but let me double check. Dracolisks. That's not the right thing. I'll find it. I don't think they are, but yeah, okay. The Dracolisk can get the water breathing as well.
Yeah, so that way all of us and little Lao Shupo, little rat guy, they're all getting it. Everybody, because I can get, I think, up to 8 creatures with this, or up to 10 or something like that.
Sure, that sounds correct. I think it's up to 10. Yeah, Dracolisks do not just normally have water breathing. So yeah, the baby Dracolisk and Pipette will now be able to breathe underwater. The 3 of you, Wisp, not a problem. I think that's everything that would need it. The sea dragon does not require air.
And obviously the dead mounts that we had, won't require that either. So
yes, that's another question. Are you summoning mounts, or are you going to ride the dragon?
I'm going to ride the dragon.
Okay.
But Rot Trot doesn't go away like the other Phantom Steeds, which means if someone wants to ride Rot Trot, they can.
Honestly, with Khan being small sized, Reese and Khan could both fit on Rot Trot.
Yeah, we can take Rot Trot. I'm fine with that.
Okay. I'll give Rot Trot the Phantom Steed spell that gives them the flying speed. They have Water Walk all on, but like they're able to like bypass that and go under the water if they want. So with that, they're sort of flying through the water. You can kind of rule that as like a makeshift swim speed if you want. Yeah,
it's the same. It's what, 80 feet?
80 feet, yeah.
Yeah, that's the same as the dragon. So both of you will be able to match speeds very easily. Okay, so you got your water breathing, you got your one Rot Trot, sixth level, correct?
Yeah, that's 6th level. I think water breathing's 4th level. Pretty sure.
That sounds right.
I'm gonna take one of those off. So I'm trying to make sure, I get all this stuff out. Give myself a long strider, because if I have to swim, I want to be able to just fucking go.
Smart.
So I'll take one of those. Do an ant haul.
Water breathing, 4th level would be duration until the next daily prep.
Sweet.
Hot.
So like essentially 24 hours.
I guess so. I'm letting the dragon have us get there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll just let the dragon lead us, but I might end up casting Wanderer's Guide. I need to double check.
Is that the one that shows the quickest path or the safest path?
I think so. I'm double checking now just to be sure. Wanderer's Guide. Find an ideal route to a location. You call upon the Beyond to guide your route. So the duration lasts until the next time you make daily preparations. It's a minute casting time. Choose a destination. You receive an inspired route to that destination, allowing you and your allies who travel overland with you. Overland. I guess this would technically count as that. With you to.
Well, it just gets rid of difficult terrain. So it reduces that penalty by half. I'm fine with that working. So like if there's horrible eddies and like whirlpools, that kinds of things, you can avoid them more easily. I'll let that work.
Okay, yeah. So I'll cast one of those at 3rd level to make it easier for us to get there.
Okay.
Basically, I want our movement to be as unimpeded as possible. So in case we do get into danger, if we gotta run, we are like supernaturally fast at running away. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So yeah, you get all of that. Is Khan make sure she packs up plenty of coconuts for her baby Drakalisk to eat. Reese, is there any last second thing you want to do while you're still in here?
No.
Great.
No.
So the dragon gets you up on its back and says, "Well, let us go then. I tire of this cove." Swims over to here, rears back up on and flaps its wings and smashes down on this wall of stacked stones with its front claws and smashes open a hole into the side of it. And what this reveals for you, if I can get it to go, there we are, is the hole at the base of this lighthouse here.
Ooh.
Is this the new map we'll be on?
No, it's just to show you what that is. Do you see the hole there at the bottom of the water?
No.
Directly where the lighthouse is shining underneath the water up
against
that
one,
the cliff.
right there.
Yeah. So that is what just burst out from the wall here as the sea dragon zooms out at full speed with Rot Trot close behind. And you can now close that one. I just wanted to show you where you were escaping from.
Cool.
Okay, so you can also close the Pirate Cove one for the moment. Let me find...
I'm on the base screen that just says Pathfinder.
Pathfinder.
We're finding the path right now.
Finding those paths. Here we are. So that's use Avid, and let me put Rot Trot on here.
Folks, we are in the process of finding our path. Please bear with us as the paths are found.
Paths
Please
will
stay
be found
seated.
Momentarily. Please stay. Oh, that is way too big.
Whoa,
Oh
that
my
is.
God.
Hello, baby. You are
There we
big.
That is
There we
still
go.
big. That is still huge.
That's still pretty huge.
That is still
Yeah,
pretty
let's
huge
go.
for him.
There we
Yeah.
go. There we go. Rot Trot's about that size. Boop,
Then
boop.
make my dragon a little bigger.
I've
Good
got
lord.
locked. There you go.
Oh, okay. That makes
Dragons.
Yeah,
There we
we
are.
go.
How's that look for all y'all?
That looks
sense.
more
So
accurate.
good. So good.
Okay. So, eventually you come across a lot of flotsam and jetsam within the waters around you. It's becoming more and more difficult to get through here, even with your spells, Zavid. It's like trying to pilot a ship through an asteroid belt. It's just there's debris everywhere. And finally, you begin to see that there are wrecked ships, plural. Not even just plural, but dozens even of abandoned and wrecked and sunken ships in this area. You're nearest to the surface because you're also very near to the shore. This is very much the shallows. Give me perception checks in the tower, everyone.
Okay.
Oh, you know it. I'm always down to perceive with my elven eyes. Except I'm not elven.
I was about to say, excuse you, that's me.
Yeah.
Perception.
Yeah, aren't you Kyle or something?
I'm Kyle, that's right.
You're Kyle?
Reese, what do your elven eyes see?
I don't know. Tell me, Lumpy.
Oh yeah, and I also have to make a con roll as well because she's here.
What are the rat folk called again? What are their names?
Isuki.
Isuki.
Yes.
Con, what do your Isuki eyes see?
Oh, I think I got a piece of seaweed in my eyes. I cannot see much.
And she's like, you look back and Con has Reese's hair all up in her face.
Oh my god.
Cannot see anything.
Oh, poor baby.
Zavid, you realize that you're very much in a coral reef. There is sharp coral everywhere below you, and there are jagged rocks. It's no wonder that so many ships come aground here. But Reese, you notice that the currents in this area kind of swirl all into this one spot. So any ship that gets damaged naturally will kind of flow to this area.
Makes sense.
And as you get here, the sea dragon says to you,
I chose this area because it offers quite a lot of cover from from above, as you can see.
Yes.
I don't blame you.
I have a question. So these ones that are clearly floating on the surface and attached by ropes here, was it always like that? Or do you think some squatters have set up shop here?
I think perhaps people have come here to raid the ships. I do not see anyone, do you?
Let's go under the water. I say we not be above water for this. And then I want to like us quietly just submerge ourselves.
Great. That's, again, not a problem for your mounts, even with going under the water and such. So you're able to go under here. Are you trying to be stealthy?
Yeah, I would like to be stealthy.
Then
Okay,
I will
Reese,
activate.
give me a stealth check in the tower.
Can I do an aid? Am I allowed?
Yeah, sure.
Or...
Yeah, if you want.
Throw me an aid publicly, Zavid, and then we'll see what happens here. Yeah, you critically aid, so Reese, I will add 2 to that.
Dope.
Yeah, so Reese kind of takes the lead here. You're going around the debris that's floating around. There's planks of wood, there's fish everywhere. So you're trying to make sure you avoid all of these little obstacles. And it's eerily quiet under this water. The only life seems to be these little schools of fish, very much coral reef. You know, in Finding Nemo, how the coral reef is very, very peaceful. Just little tiny fish having a good time. Yeah. But you do realize that in this, and you don't hear any activity on these boats. They seem to be essentially abandoned. But you do see that directly beneath the ones that are shackled together is a deep, deep hole. I'm going to swap you all over to this now, to here. Since you went under the water.
Under the sea.
Ooh.
Since Zavid, you're here. And then Khan and Reese are up on Rot Trot. Okay. Does that map load?
Yep, and it's wiggly.
Okay.
Love it.
Yes, good. So beneath the surface, You can see it's a lovely coral reef. Oh, there's all kinds of colorful plant life. There are crustaceans, little schools of playful fish, and a massive sinkhole that seems to go straight down as far as your eyes can even see. And there's a single wooden ship split perfectly in half. The bow and the mast on either, or the bow and the stern on either side of this hole.
I'm listening to the underwater theme for Super Mario World.
That's a good choice.
Yes, this is the entrance. I would tread carefully. You never know what has taken up refuge.
These typically seem to be places that would be very well defended by something living in there, but there's always some creature that thinks it can make a home for itself here. Let me send in my little friend. And I'm going to send in Wispy, who's can breathe underwater. I'm going to say an Aklo. I imagine it sounds very muffled and weird under the water.
Reese is going to probably be giggling hearing it because he can understand it.
Do you have like an underwater voice thing?
Kind of. It's really all I'd have to do is take an EQ and muffle it. Like I'd have to only the more bassy stuff. But essentially, like I tell our little guy here, hey, we're in a new environment. The water will be a bit of a challenge to traverse, but you will not suffocate, and you have the aid of the darkness. Use that to your advantage. If things look scary, ethereal. You know what to do.
Stick to the shadows. Yes.
Yes.
And Wisp, your little ether spider, pops into the ethereal plane and jumps down onto the mast of that ship and sinks into it and goes down out of your sight. And a minute or so later, comes back and says,
the jaws, their teeth large. I don't know what it is. Cannot see past the mouth.
And I'll turn to our dragon friend and say, it looks like some predator has made its home here. Maybe we should give it a snack. And I looked at Khan. You have anything explosive it could munch on?
Oh, for a moment I thought you were implying I jump in there. Oh, yes,
no.
of course.
And
I was thinking the same thing.
Starts looking through, and what would Khan have? Let's go with.
I'll help in any crafting checks necessary to make like a bomb.
Okay, how about a moderate bottled lightning? Because you're underwater, a bomb won't be too effective, but lightning sure will.
Lightning might be effective. Here's my aid check.
Okay. That's enough. So Khan, to craft underwater, she gets a +1 from your aid. My god, her crafting skill is high.
Oh, by
Holy
the way,
shit, and rolled a natural 19 for a 45. Look at that.
Hell.
By the way, what?
Just for Savid to know, Reese is trading now in everything.
It's true. Every skill Reese is trained
Every skill trained.
I think Khan is as well. Yeah, Khan is also trained in everything. So, between the two of you, you're able to make a watertight bottled lightning just on the fly with this box of scraps in a cave. And so, thank you. I appreciate that you
took
got
me a
that.
second. I was like, wait a minute.
So, okay, okay, so she throws it down into this cave. And it's that button. All right. So she got a 36. I will show that there. So this ball of lightning, it sails end over end really slowly, much slower than you're used to seeing it because of the viscosity of water. And it goes down into the hole, right down the center. And a few moments later, you hear just a very muffled echoing from down below. It hit something. And a moment later, you hear a noise from... Oh shit, she just rolled for max damage.
Good.
And up from
As she
beneath,
should.
you see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. You see the massive jaws of an extremely large worm coming up from the hole. Jaws 180 degrees open, massive gnarly teeth, and spikes all around its cylindrical body. Please roll initiative.
Ew,
Oh, wonderful. I'm gonna have to change the
gross.
music.
It's so icky.
Isn't it wonderful?
No, I hate it. Thanks. Roll initiative. Okay.
Yes, please.
What kind of initiative? Perception
you
or
can do your stealth if you want.
I'd like to, yeah.
What? That was cocked. That was supposed to be a 16, you bastards.
And then Khan gets initiative as well. She gets a stealth. And the dragon gets one as well. I forgot about that. So dragon gets their own initiative.
We should shrink Rottrot. Rottrot looks like a gargantuan animal. I love Rottrot, but my god, he's huge. He looks like he could take on the worm by himself.
He probably could.
Whoops. Okay. So that puts it at first. It is the worm's turn. It took some damage because Khan hurled a thing at it. But it is not loving that. So its first action is to move up to where it is. So that's a single action. And it actually don't think it has. It can't do anything from where it's at. So it is going to try to perceive those of you who are sneaking. There we go. Okay, so your stealth was that, and there's that. Okay. All right, that is going to be its turn. So it has now. Oh no, it is going to use hide and burrow. Use a single action to increase its AC by a little bit. So it pulls itself back just a little bit. That brings it to Khan's turn. Oh geez, let's do. So Khan. She is on the back of Rottrot, so I think what she's going to do is hurl another one of those bottled lightnings, because Khan would not have just made one.
Absolutely not.
Ranged attack. Oh, fully misses. And then she uses an action to pull out another one, and she's going to use what kind of nature check to see if she can learn anything about this thing. She has never even seen. I have never seen anything like this before. This is the strangest worm. Reese, you're up.
All right, so Reese is kind of disgusted. Like, kind of is only an understatement, honestly. And, oh god, honestly, I think he's just going to get his bow and arrow out and just be like, no, no, and going to...
Okay, do you want to make it your hunted prey?
Yes.
Or yeah, okay. So go through that, like make it your target, all that nonsense.
Yep. And that is hunt prey designated target. And,
hit that one again, the designated target.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. That worked.
Okay. And then, do I do the one right below it?
Designated target, and then you do the... Yeah, that's the only one you really need is hunt prey designated target. Then for precision, do that one.
Okay.
Yep, there you go.
That's what I meant below it.
Perfect. Yes. Okay. Now, and then for some reason your sneak attack thing went away. So I'll just add that to you.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, good to go. It's not flat-footed, so you won't get sneak attack, but for some reason your buff is gone. All right, so you made your hunted prey, shooting an arrow. Yeah, it's definitely a hit, so go ahead and do your damage, and you are in control of Rottrot. So if you want to move, you're going to have to use your actions to move it.
That's fine. I'm good where we are right now, though.
Great. Okay, 12 damage. Awesome, you have one action remaining.
I'm going to hit it again and just do it for the...
cool, in your middle.
The middle, yeah.
Got it.
Eh,
All right.
okay.
The second one, your arrow, you forget that you're underwater, and the viscosity of the water stops it a little short. So at the end of that, it puts it to Zavid. What are you doing?
Well, I think I have to use an action to move myself and the sea dragon together with the movement. Get about here, I think would be fine.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use 2 actions to cast Rouse Skeletons at 5th level, which adds a d6 of damage. So what happens is misshapen skeletal forms erupt from a solid surface, like the inside of this cave along the edges of the fucking worm.
That's awesome.
And they fill the burst, which is 10 feet. The area is filled with difficult terrain. Their grasping claws deal the 3d6 slashing damage to creatures in the area when the skeletons first appear. It's a basic reflex save.
Basic reflex?
All
right.
Yeah, and I can sustain it for up to a minute. So every time I sustain it, I can move it. And then the spell, it deals another 3d6.
What's your DC?
It's
31 or 32
now, right? Yeah.
Let me check. Your DC for cleric 32. Yes. It failed. Regular fail, 29. So what happens on a fail?
So just 3d6.
All right. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
All right. So that much slashing as these skeletal arms pop out of the side of solid coral and rock and just start scraping and scratching and slashing the side of this worm. And I'm pretty sure the worm would have to leave the thing entirely in order to not be affected by these anymore. Every time my turn comes around, I'm just gonna sustain that damage on him.
Okay. Great. So that's 4 actions? Or I mean all your actions, right?
That's all my actions. I didn't give the dragon any other action other than to move, so that's it for us.
Okay, great. But you are within range now. That's good.
Yeah, come at us.
So the dragon, skeletal sea dragon, is going to open its mouth, and you feel a rush of water from behind you enter up into its ribs and burst out in a ball of heavy water straight at this thing as it uses its breath weapon. So it needs to make a reflex save. Ooh, it rolls really bad. Holy crap. It failed. Sweet. So that is 9d6 bludgeoning damage. 5, 6, 7, 8.
From
9.
from my guy to the bad dude.
From the dragon
right?
to the bad dude, yes.
Yeah, okay. I was like, you were saying sweet. I'm like, this isn't at me,
sweet
right?
For you guys. Sweet for you guys.
Okay.
For once, I'm on your side on this one. I hate this. I hate this creature, and I want you to kill it.
It's also so that's just a picture of a real animal.
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
That's disgusting.
I tried to find a more like a drawn one, but none of them got the horror of these things right. So I just used a real one. Yeah, that's its turn though. Top of the round, it's the worm. So it is going to use spring attack and try to snatch at the dragon because it is within range. So it is going to attack with its jaws. Oh, and rolled a nat 1. So it's going to hide in its burrow again to gain the extra AC, and that's all it can really do. Con's up, so she's still at a distance. I think she's gonna shoot her arcane or her alchemical crossbow at this thing. So trying to hit it with a bottle of lightning from a distance, and that's probably gonna miss. Yeah, miss. And then she'll throw one more bottle of lightning, see if that'll help. Ooh, that one did it. Okay, so Con hit it, and that helps a ton because what that does is it makes it flat-footed. So now, Reese, it's your turn, and if you hit it, you can get a sneak attack.
Frick yeah. All right, let's go. So Reese is going to do... Actually, you know what? I forgot about Wog, so I'm going to activate that for one action.
Yep, do your
flurry. My flurry. Okay, I don't have to press any buttons on that one. Cool. And then I am going to longbow it.
Excellent. Oh, wow, that actually hit. I didn't think that was going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that one hits. So let me do damage on that one.
because of the flat-footed. So so Khan hitting it with that bottled lightning is why it was flat-footed. So nice, got a little sneak attack.
Nice.
That should have also done your Hunter's Prey. So throw another D8, and I'll add it to it.
Okay.
I don't know why it didn't. Oh, look at that. Full
natty.
8. Okay, so that means 2 more actions for you.
Okay, 2 more actions for me, and I'll go do the 20. Since I got that.
It was almost a nat 20.
That's so
one
close.
More action.
And we'll just go for the 15.
That's...
Hey, there we go.
I was literally just going to say you need a nat 20 to even hit it, but a nat 20 would upgrade it to a crit. So,
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we will do this piercing. Well, hold on. Let me make sure I got the right one. Yeah. Piercing damage, and I know it's not going to...
Yeah. There you go.
Oh.
That was good. So you sink your first arrow into its side because this thing is wobbling back and forth, trying to snap at the dragon, and also it's getting attacked by these slashing, like, skeletal hands that are poking out of the side of this tunnel, scratching at it. This thing's bleeding in the water, screeching, snapping its jaws. It's looking really bad.
That's what you get for being ugly.
Yeah, right. And you manage to shoot one arrow right into its mouth, and it looks particularly bad. You have 1 action remaining.
That's what you get for being ugly?
I think you're done, actually.
I'm done, but that's what he says at the end.
That's funny. That's what you get for being ugly. Zavid, you're up. This thing looks bad.
Damn. I'm watching footage of a bobbit worm take down a puffer fish, like a blowfish.
Oh, God.
And I think it's still doing it. It's still taking it down.
Damn. Yeah, bobbit worms are fucking scary, man.
They are meters long. They are so large. I had no idea how big they were. Oh my God, one of them just snatched an octopus? Good Lord. Scary. My turn.
Yeah.
So we're going to sustain that spell. It needs to make a basic reflex.
All right. Reflex 32.
Yeah.
Okay, it succeeded, but not critically, so it'll take half damage.
Okay. So 4.
Okay.
4 slashing. And then I'm going to use an action to ask Cecil to finish it off, and I say, I feel bad since this guy has protected your treasure hoard for how many years, but it's time for us to gain access.
I agree. Let us be rid of it.
Is that the end of your turn? Like, do you want to move or anything?
I mean, I'll have Cecil move in whatever position is most advantageous to him to then attack on the next turn.
Let me see. There we go. So you feel... All right, yeah. You feel all of the bones start to shudder, and the spinal column contracts, like the space in between the vertebrae compress, and Cecil uses Coiling Frenzy, and as he reaches out, moves forward with his movement, and uses 2 actions to use Coiling Frenzy. So he uses 1 Claw Strike and 1 Tail Strike in any order. So he's going to use a Tail Strike first. Ooh, that should have been a hit because it's flat-footed. So that one does go in. And then a claw. Whoops, wrong thing. Claw against that. There we go. He got a nat 20.
Yeah.
Boosh, 41. So claw crit against this thing. See if he can take it out. And he does it. Cecil he releases the tension in his vertebrae, slashing out with his tail above his head like a scorpion as he slashes with his claw, slicing this thing in half, and the top end of it floats away as it is very dead. And it's just I like how Fantasy Grounds puts the blob of blood now. That's a very neat addition.
That's pretty cool.
It definitely it sells home the thing, but there's a lot of stuff we fight that has no blood. That's like it turned into blood. The skeleton turned into blood.
It's just plasma.
There we go. I can get rid of it.
No worries.
Thank you for your assistance.
Anytime.
Yes,
that thing was nasty.
Find out how well it has protected your lair.
Yes, let us go. So I'll add all of you to here, real quick to this new map.
As we go down, the little skeleton hands all wave to us as they disintegrate and turn into just like dust underwater as they release the spell.
Some of the fish that float around in here start eating them, like the fish that munch the rocks, the parrotfish, I think they're called.
Yeah. This is a coral reef. That makes sense they'd be here.
Yep. There we go. Get Rot Trot up in here. Reese is on Rot Trot. Con is on Rot Trot.
Oh, this was called the Coast of Graves? Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. Thank you. That's actually Pathfinder canon. Here, I'll show you. Map of Assyrian, because you, Zavid, have this map. There we go. Share. If you look, I'll show you with drawing.
Oh, I see it.
Hor Aha. That is the lighthouse, and that's, again, Pathfinder canon. And then Coast of Graves is right there, and that's where this dragon's hoard is. It's right on the Coast of Graves.
Convenient.
Wow, so we are right there. We're about to be in Assyrian.
Yeah, you're right there.
Holy shit.
Oh no, we're right. Oh my god.
As you're descending deep into this cave, let me get it
we're
here.
right near the labyrinth.
You're descending down this hole. It seems to go down for hundreds of meters. It's pitch black. Zavid, you have no issues seeing because you remember deep in your clothes you were an amulet given to you by Cabriri, the legendary true name amulet of Eshtabai that has granted you greater dark vision. So you have no problem seeing in this dark tunnel. Reese, I think, let me check. You're an elf. You have low light vision, so it is very, very dark for you. You can basically not see without some form of...
Let me see if I can illuminate. I don't want everyone... I love seeing in the dark. I don't want them to like bump into walls and stuff trying to follow us.
I was going to say, as you get down to where the light stops, Khan says, "Oh, I cannot see anymore. Let me try something." And she goes, "Well," and casts light. It is a little something that Papette taught me.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. I don't like not seeing.
Shit. Oh, you're muted, by the way, Elliot.
Yeah, you are.
All right, on your end.
In Zoom, it looks like.
Zoom. Okay, cool.
There you go. Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, Khan casts light for you. And yeah, so as you're descending deeper and deeper into this hole, eventually you start to see a little bit of illumination below, and you can see that it opens up into a large cavern filled with underwater chemicalvores, tube plants, crustaceans. There's all kinds of coral-like creatures. But what catches your eye most is as soon as Khan's light enters the cavern, gold and glimmering silver start to fleck and reflect everywhere around you. There's piles of gold coins, statuary of all kinds, and there are two large, long, thin boats sitting amongst the treasure and the art. Cecil takes one look around and says, "I remember. I am Salakash, the wave that shapes the land."
My fucking music just crescendoed when you did that. I was like, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Cool.
Fantastic.
Salakash?
Salakash, the wave that shapes the land.
It is good to have you back in our world once more, Salakash.
Thank you for returning me.
Let us take stock about your hoard and see what you've got.
Yes. Ask me whatever you wish. It is good to see you once more.
And he sort of swims down and, like a cat, sort of, let's see if I can Nope, wrong button.
Makes biscuits and
makes biscuits and kind of spins a couple of times like a dog, and eventually just sort of settles down into a pile. He's not falling asleep, but he's getting very comfortable in a pile of coins.
Hell yes.
You're free to swim around.
I would, yeah, I'll kind of swim down, and I want to examine the state of these boats. Are they still, are they like magically lacquered? Like, are they able to be seaworthy?
It's a wonderful question. I have a couple of things. So the one you're standing next to is a beautiful, ornate, pristine, incredible boat. Getting up this close to it, you can see that the lacquer work, the varnish work, is still in perfect condition. But this boat is old. You have no idea how old this boat is. You can roll me society checks because that's what history is under. But yeah, in the tower, anyone who wants to.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'll do.
That's what Reese
trained.
is for.
I'll aid you. I'm aiding. Sorry.
Yes,
Mine
you're
is an aid for.
me.
Okay, yours is a 26, so add
And
yourself
then
a 1, Reese.
society. Okay. Oh, let me
Gotta clarify, since I always forget that Reese is like the society.
Reese is
Society
amazing
man.
at society, yeah. It's like Zabid's job is religion checks. Okay, great. Reese, being from Assyrian, you recognize this as a kufu boat, which is a funeral boat. This is your culture right here. But you also realize immediately that this is no ordinary kufu boat. This is inlaid with gold and gemstones, and it is made with wood from a far-off land with extremely rare lacquers. You get the sense that this is probably a royal kufu.
Reese just like, when he looks at it, he just looks a little deeper and is like, there's no freaking way I'd ever thought I'd see this.
My aid check is just like, this looks really fancy.
Yeah, this is a death ship for fancy people, basically. Like
Fancy
when my dad dies, this is what they will be putting him on type.
See, I like go over to this one. I'm like, this one looks a lot less fancy.
Yeah, that one is.
I have a couple of things for this one.
Okay.
This one is slightly less fancy, but it is still quite nice. It's made of wood, and you can see that it's metal reinforced. This one probably has some stuff in it, like treasure. It seems to be reinforced, but both of them have little doors on them with locks. But this one also has a thing on the side, and I'd like to request that you keep this next image up. Because I've made a lot of edits to this, so it's not just a quick picture. There's actually stuff here of substance.
All right.
So you see this on the side of this second kufu, and Reese, you recognize this language, though you don't speak it.
Yep.
This is ancient Osiriani. You speak modern Osiriani, but they share very little in common. But you recognize this. It's sort of like when you recognize Russian, even if you don't speak Russian.
You realize that, yeah.
Yeah, you realize it is Russian. Yeah, so you recognize that this is ancient Osiriani, and it clearly tells some type of tale.
Can Reese kind of like piece together what it might be, even though he doesn't understand old? It's just like there's probably cognates here and there of, well, this is what this could be. Because I roll for something for that.
Yeah, society is literally for decipher writing. That's literally what it's for.
What about desert lore on top of that?
Ooh, desert lore. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
this is
it's
the perfect
lower.
time for that.
It's
So,
lower, but it
let
works
me look
better.
at your numbers. Here's the thing with the specific lores is I always make the DC less. So let me see. You have an...
And I'll give you another aid check. I have linguist dedication, so...
You do. That's...
So
oh, God, you have a linguist dedication?
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah, it's from the ghoul stone. Yeah.
The ghoul stone. Yeah, so what is... Let's see if you could two could figure this out
What
together.
do I add for a modifier?
Yeah, Zavid. So what does that ghoulstone do specifically? Did it just give you more languages?
Well, it gives me just some languages, but understanding a lot of different languages gives you the sense of linguistics and etymology that you wouldn't normally have. So I'm just rolling an aid check. That's my justification to help.
Yeah, fantastic. So Give yourself a +1, Reese, and roll a society publicly.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it was almost 16. 30? That's pretty good. You're not able to translate it word for word, but a pattern is starting to emerge, and I have it written somewhere.
That makes sense too. Like
There we
it's
go.
like I understand, but not fully.
Right.
Like so you probably would recognize, so they're like oracle bones. Like you can kind of see, oh wait, this turned into this letter, so this symbol means this.
Exactly.
Don't know this one, but I know this one's like fire, so like maybe it means, you know, we'd probably do some of that, like back and forth, trying to figure out which all the hieroglyphics
I feel
are.
like they absolutely would, because that makes sense. It's like, no, this is no, this means this. Really? I think it means this. And oh wait, nope, that makes sense in this context.
There it is. Okay. So you're starting to see a pattern in here that it's telling a story of about a pharaoh who tried to expand his territory and did so, but in order to succeed, summoned a great evil. The pharaoh who succeeded him, who appears to be named the Pharaoh of the Song, was able to imprison this great evil. And that's about all you're able to piece together with that roll. But having rolled that, you also see upon the royally looking Khufu, you are seeing many of the same symbols. Pharaoh of the Song. And you, knowing your history, know that that is extraordinarily ancient, from the first era of Osirian.
Would that be like a religion check?
Yeah, probably.
Could I do that?
Both of you can do that.
Yeah, I have master. Do you want me to do the main roll?
Sure.
Yes.
So roll a public religion there, Reese, and you can aid.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So add 1.
So that +1. I haven't added the 1.
40. Yet. Excellent. That's fantastic. So piecing this together, you are also finding that the royal Khufu, you're seeing the holy symbol of Hathor a lot. And between the two of you, you realize that Hathor is the sister of Bastet, the god that you worship, Reese.
Oh!
Hathor is a chaotic good god. The symbol is like a cross, but with bull horns at the top. But you're seeing that, and you're piecing together that this is probably the burial boat of the Pharaoh of the Song, High Priestess of Hathor.
All right.
Reese's mind is kind of like exploding, and he just like keeps looking like even more so at it. Like this is like kind of like when Demirius has like his whole thing. This is just kind of like really similar, where he's just like he's just kind of like speechless when he realizes what it is, because even though it's not direct thing to Bastet, it's still very freaking close to even being anywhere to touch his god.
If you would like, I could probably pop this lock. It does not seem that out. It is quite an old piece of metal.
Wait,
says as she floats up.
Be
don't
careful.
do it yet. I am communing with the darkness to see if there's something I can do. Right now I'm trying to look for a destroy water or a create air spell.
Oh, I gotcha.
And I'm struggling to find it.
I think it's a first level spell.
Yeah, that one's specifically around like a head. There is create water, but that's all that does. There's no destroy.
I would allow destroy, because that's a D&D spell. It makes as much sense as create.
Okay. I would upcast it to the top slot I could. What I want to do, my goal, is I want to find a place. Essentially, if we could do a little S, the hole goes down. If the hole does a little S tube thing, like you would see
in a toilet,
yeah,
absolutely.
If it does that, we could destroy enough water that it would create an air pocket in here, and then we could raise the ship and have like it whatever we find, I don't want to be wet. I don't want it to get water damaged.
Yes. All of you, just roll me some crafting checks publicly to see if you can, and I'll have Con roll one, just to see if you can find the structurability of that. Oh, not a problem. 33, 35, 36. So with very little issue, you're able to find a small corner, let's say here, right up in this little area, where you're able to, you can
also,
see.
Also, can I put this
Sarcophagus
image off?
What's that?
Is this sarcophagus image
yeah. For now, go ahead.
Okay.
Cool. I'll reopen it if I need to.
Thank you.
I was gonna say the only thing I was gonna mention on there, the Ankh with the arms and the thing. It looks like there's either a creature or a landmass.
A creature in the center is in there. Yeah, it's a creature.
Yeah, I imagine it's Rovagug.
With your religion check, it is not. You get the sense it is not something that big. You get the sense with this, the pharaoh before the song pharaoh summoned a great evil. It didn't, and it was one person who summoned it. There's no way one person can summon Rovagug.
Fair.
So yeah, a person summoned a great evil, not the great evil, a great evil.
Interesting. Okay. Yes. Notes taken. I'll look back at that.
I think Reese is gonna explore a little more to just see if there's the other, and then he goes and sees that other ship.
Yeah. You're gonna look through the other one?
Yeah, wait, are there only two, or did you move the other one?
There's two ships, and I just moved that one.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Over to where the air pocket's gonna be, the little S bend in the cave.
Okay, yeah, then he'll check out the other one.
Cool. The other one is very old. It's the same age as the other one, and its lock actually breaks because it's waterlogged. It's completely ruined, and within you see essentially what you would expect for a pharaoh's burial. You see little mummified cat sarcophagus. You see urns. You see little toys, lots of gold coins. But the one thing that does catch your eye specifically is there is a golden mask with I don't want to call it a headdress, but there's a large thing that comes out in a semicircle like this off the top of it, that's hanging in a place in the center with filigree and lots of decorations and gemstones around it. It's clearly apart from the rest. Even though everything in here is gold and treasure and jewels, this one mask is clearly more given a place of importance.
Well, what kind of check would that be? Religion again?
Probably, yeah.
Religion or society? I don't know. It's pretty iffy territory for him because
I'd say society because you're
yeah.
from here.
Public?
You go tower.
Tower.
Yeah. You immediately recognize this as a pharaoh's nemes. This is a crown of a pharaoh. There's no question that what you have found is the burial the burial boats of a pharaoh.
I'm gonna not touch that one because obviously it's not popping out at me as anything important, but it's just more gonna be a mental note. I don't want to fuck with that.
Okay. So Zavid, with the help of your mount, and Cecil will help out getting that boat over there. Into this little S-bend area, you're able to use your spell Destroy Water to make a sort of bubble here, and just to... There, I'll make the water stop wiggling.
Yeah, so we get it,
cool.
We get it to float up. I start like sloshing. I'll even get on the boat a little bit, like, oh my god. I'll wait for Reese to kind of come back up once we've got it, and I'll say, what I'd like to do is open this, and if there is a body still interred inside, I might ask your permission if I could use Speak with Dead to learn more about who this person was. Is that acceptable? It seems that you have a bit of an interest in this. I don't want to step on your toes.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. So I haven't really talked about my deity, have I? To you, other than I have one, right?
I kind of assumed you did.
Yeah.
It just seemed like you did. We never really talked about it, no.
Yeah, well, mine doesn't collide with yours, so that's, we never have to worry about that. So, to be on the nose, my deity is Bastet. Bastet is typically more for, females, but, I was drawn to it for that reason because I haven't always been a guy. So this deity really drew to me, and the power that Bastet has is something that connects with me, even though I don't really identify on the scale of feminine or womanly, whatever you'd like to call it.
Did Bastet do something to your genitals?
Personal question, please let's not get into that.
Sorry, I want to know if this is a good guy or not.
This is a good. No.
Okay.
I only preface this because this is Basset's sister. This is her pharaoh deathbed ship, basically.
Wait, was Bastet immortal or?
To clarify, this pharaoh is the high priestess of the god who is the
high priestess.
Sister of Bastet. Yeah.
Okay.
So not the literal gods, but this is like this is the high muckety muck of the sister of Rhesus god.
Yeah, that Reese will explain more in depth with that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why this is kind of important to me, because like she was a goody version of what Bastet wasn't, but this is still really, this is as close to Bastet as I've gotten outside of just existing and acknowledging within their power. So that's why it's important, really. But not many people know that small detail I just shared. But I think with the context of what Bastet is and who naturally navigates towards, I think this is an appropriate time to disclose that information.
This is or is not?
No, this is the appropriate time to, so you understand the context of my god and why it means a lot to me, alongside why this is also very important to me, even though it's more adjacent.
Okay.
As you're saying this, all Khan is already up on. They're fiddling with the locks, and she looks up. Oh, so we can.
We're up above water now, so it's fine.
Yep.
So Khan's gonna try and. Oh, no problem at all. 39 on her thievery check. This is an ancient lock. She, with ease, is able to pop it open. And you open it up, and you see within a glimmering golden sarcophagus.
Ooh.
With long ochre black hair, perfect winged eyeliner makeup, golden ruby gemmed scarab earrings and a headpiece, holy symbols of Hathor all around. This is undoubtedly this burial sarcophagus of a truly royal person.
Detect magic.
Give me a will save.
Okay. Cool. Please roll high. Fuck. I'm gonna hero point it.
Okay.
I need to not fail this, please. All right, that's better.
Oh, that's much better. You are almost overcome with a strange feeling. There is so much magic in the side of the sarcophagus, but it's not the sarcophagus itself. It's not cursed. There's no traps on this thing. It's within. You feel divine magic inside there, and you feel old magic in there. Whatever's in here is itself very magical, but you can also feel that I'm just going to say it. As a necromancer, you can tell that it's currently dormant. But it is powerful.
I'm going to read aura. I would like to... It usually just gives you the school, but could we fudge it a bit to like understand the purpose of it? Could I try to like zero in on what this magic is doing?
You get a huge sense of transmutation, and you get the feeling that it's for preservation. Intense magic for preservation.
Is this person not dead? The magic, I'll share all this. I'll say, like, the magic in here, the sarcophagus is not magical itself. It is very well made to seal within the corpse of the person here, but there's so much magic, divine, old magic, preserving it. It almost makes me think it's not the corpse, but I'm a bit wary to open because if it is a living person, we're kind of introducing them to the inside of a sea dragon's cave thousands of years in the future. So I feel a little bit, I want a plan before we do that. Let's consider the possibility that this person is alive and comes back, this high priestess, and starts speaking ancient Osirian. Do we have magic to understand them? Anyone know tongues or comprehend?
You might, you're divine source.
I do.
Cleric.
I can get tongues if we need it.
Didn't we do that thing where we said you can roll wisdom or something to see if you would have thought to prepare it? Because my logic would be, you know that you're going to a new continent with new people and new languages. And Zavid is very wise. It seems highly likely he would have thought to prepare either tongues and or comprehend languages.
Give me a DC. And this is just a flat check, so it's like my base ability modifier.
Okay, so for your... Okay, so just your base.
Yeah.
Let's call it 13.
We're thinking more D&D terms now.
Yeah. That's what I was doing. Let's call it a 13 because that's a fairly
13.
That seems a reasonable spell to want to prepare.
Okay.
Given the circumstances.
Oof. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you definitely prepared all your language spells. You're good.
All right. So let me just double check the. I believe it's just it's third level. I thought, if I'm correct.
Let me look.
It's tongues, right?
Tongues is like 5th.
Oh, is it?
Comprehend language is less.
I'm totally good with that. So I'll cast tongues. If I do it for 7th level, I can do it for even longer.
So tongues, 7th level, 8 hours. The target can understand all words regardless of language and also speak the languages of other creatures when in a mixed group of... Yeah, you could do that at a 7th level for 8 hours.
I'm going to give Reese tongues. So you can now understand anything that is spoken to you for the next 8 hours. And you can speak that language back effortlessly. And then for me, I might, if I could find comprehend, I think that's still
it's like a 3rd level spell.
That one's 3rd?
Mm-hmm. 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. There's levels. Yeah, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. For 1 hour, you understand the meaning of a single language. 3rd level, the target can also speak it. 4th level, you can target up to 10 creatures, and the targets can speak. So if you spend a 4th level, you and Khan and the dragon, I guess, could all speak it as well.
Oh, well, so tongues is more of a catch-all, whereas comprehend language is ancient Osirian. Then that could just give us all that.
True.
I think I might do that instead.
Cool.
Instead
so
of
the 4th level instead of the 7th level.
Yeah. So that means
you can target 10 creatures. Absolutely.
So that's all of us in the party, as well as my dragon. And I think we'll do the little Lao Shupo guy.
I bet. Yep.
I'll wisp too. Why not? It's here.
You have up to 10. Why not?
Why not? So everything that can speak a language that's with us now understands ancient Osirian.
So you do have that boat that has all of those hieroglyphs on the side. So just kind of describe how your magic makes this happen. That's very neat. Because you haven't cast this before.
I sort of weave the ghoul stone that's in my hat. For the first time, emits light as it's kind of the focus of this, and I'm pulling like shadowy imprints, almost like it's taking a rubbing of the fucking hieroglyphs off, peeling them off, these like copies, and they start to swirl like this sort of spiral, like helix, sort of DNA helix that go into the ghoul stone as I'm like absorbing like a Rosetta Stone, like I'm figuring out the language with the spells I'm casting it. And then once I've got that, I blow it like this sort of charm out at everybody in here, and suddenly like there's this sort of dawning realization that you know how to speak this language. And I imagine for Reese, this is the most easiest adaptation for you, since you know
regular.
It's a descendant language, so it's sort of like, oh, that makes sense. I see how this turned into that.
Your language makes so much more sense. The grammar, the construction, the vocabulary. Suddenly, just there's a rush of understanding of your own language.
I love it.
You have to take a moment to kind of appreciate it. But
yeah, Reese absolutely does.
All of you are now fully comprehensive of the ancient Osirian tongue for the next however long that spell says.
So can Reese take a look back at that, sir, the hieroglyph on the side?
Yes, absolutely. Let me find it here. I have it. I can even just read it out.
Yeah, go for it. And can you drop the text? Yeah.
I'll drop the text, and I will also give that picture again because it's cool.
Yes.
Where did it go? Is it? There it is. Okay, so I'll reshare the image, and I'll put the thing there. Okay, so you start looking at this, and you begin reading it, and it says, or unless you want to read it, doesn't matter to me.
Oh, yeah, actually, that'd be dope.
Cool, I dropped it in the chat. You should be able to open it.
All right, let me just get the image of that up. So, okay. Where's the chat under?
In the chat window, there should be a thing that says
story.
Oh,
on Zoom?
No, in Fantasy Grounds.
Fantasy Grounds. Oh, yeah. Shoot. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, over on the left. See,
sorry, there's three different. Three different chat windows I could do. So
the one called Ma'at's sarcophagus.
So Reese looks over everything again, just kind of like, okay, now I get it. Ma'at's sarcophagus. In the 13th year of the rule of the Pharaoh of the Forgotten Plagues, the sovereign thirsted for power and land. In an attempt to expand the borders of his empire, he made many enemies. To ensure victory over the Jistka, yeah. The Jistka Imperium to the west, Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues, summoned a bloodthirsty demon war. Zalshikar of the Bitter Flame is who that was. Jitska burned out, but the pharaoh could not control over Zalshikar. It rampaged across the empire, devastating the masses. Pharaoh of the Forgotten Plagues sent waves of his armies and at the demon for naught. The pharaoh's council of viziers enacted a coup d'etat. Ma'at, high priestess of Hathor, put on the golden Nems. Is that Nems?
I think it's Nemes, but I'm not entirely sure. I literally Googled ancient pharaoh headdress, and Nemes is the word that popped back. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce it.
And declared herself God King of all, warmed by Ra. Ma'at, the Song Pharaoh, worked with her Jinni allies to defeat and imprison Zalshikar. The demon was imprisoned within the Bottle of Binding, a magic artifact crafted by Jinn. This dangerous object was then hidden deep within a reality bending labyrinth carved from... Are you fucking kidding me? Reality bending...
What?
This dangerous object was then hidden deep within a reality bending labyrinth carved from living rock by the Shaitani. To hide the labyrinth from any wayward traveler, the maze of stone was flooded over by the waters of Maradi. Finally, a mighty Ifriti guardian swore an oath to protect the Bottle of Binding from an accidentally falling into the wrong hands. Reese's brain is kind of exploding a little whole fucking lot.
As you're reading this out loud, I mean, we know a little bit already about Reese, so I'm like, so how does your dad figure Is he... How old is your dad?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I'm over 100, but goblins, I don't know how long they typically live. I didn't really think about that. But
is your dad actually a goblin, though?
Yes,
as far as you are aware, he is a hobgoblin.
Yeah, a hobgoblin. But he still calls himself a goblin king.
Okay. Does your dad lie a lot?
Yeah, it's one of his pastimes.
Okay, so does he look like any of the goblins? Like even a little bit? Okay.
He's too hot.
How likely? Does he ever use fire? Is he like a fire guy? Does he have like fire stuff he does? Because Ifriti, see where I'm going with this, Ifriti are like fire things. I think.
He is
fire guardian.
They are fire.
He's saying it because he's never really met genies before, but he's
actually
like read
roll
about
me
stuff.
occult to see, or arcana, public.
Would also Elliot doesn't know, but would Reese know if his dad has firepower?
You do know he has a lot of magic, and he is the Goblin King. All goblins love fire.
Yeah.
Of course he loves fire. Like, yeah,
so
he has fire magic.
When Zavid says, he's just like, have you met a goblin? Goblins love fire. Of course he knows fire shit.
So, I don't know. I think I might be thinking of genies. Genies are fire, and Ifriti are wind. I don't know. Look, if this Ifriti guardian is your dad, your dad's like immortal, and he's not a goblin. He just calls himself that to hide his true nature.
I wouldn't doubt that.
On the other hand, the worst case scenario is that he's actually this great evil escaped, and he's like, this is my labyrinth. But I think he would probably leave the labyrinth in that case. So I think he's not the great evil.
He doesn't leave it ever.
Yeah, I think he's not the great evil. I think he's the Ifriti. If that's, maybe. That's my conspiracy theory. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
You know, the dots are connecting. That may be it. I guess. Oh God,
we could ask.
I know.
And I don't mean ask your dad. I mean we could ask her.
Oh. I like that better than asking himself. And he just kind of smiles.
We've got the sarcophagus. I've got Anhal up. I'm gonna slowly and carefully, with a little help from somebody else on the other side, I'm gonna slide open the sarcophagus. And right before I do, I say, if this thing blows up, I'm so sorry to everybody here.
I need all of you to make no saving throws at all.
Okay.
I had to.
Yeah.
My heart just.
So, Zavid, what you see before you takes your breath away. You see a body, a gray-skinned body of a woman who is truly beautiful. Not just because she is beautiful aesthetically, but you as a necromancer recognize the skill, the craft, the mastery put into the preservation of this woman. The lines are correct. Her hair is properly in place. No pore has seen decay in thousands of years. This is a masterful, masterful work of art, of necromantic preservationary art. You're taken aback by the beauty in front of you.
I reflexively tell everyone, nobody touch. Now, us opening the top does not disturb the spells underneath.
Nope, nothing.
Now I would know. Let's do lore on death here and use that a little bit.
Sure. Reese, did you tell the party what you found in the other boat? The treasure and the mask and everything?
I didn't.
You have a hero point, I think.
No, I have none. I used.
I'll give you mine.
Let's give him cons.
Oh yeah, that works.
All right. I was gonna say, like, maybe I've just never heard of these methodologies. Like, I'm all right with not knowing.
There you go. That's a little better. So what are you trying to figure out about this?
I'm pretty sure that this is not. It's very. Putting it in place must have been very delicate, time-consuming work to the point of monotony for whoever did this to just make sure that this was like perfectly cast. However, I bet it's such a strong spell that unless we were to literally like disturb the body in a way that was more like forceful, this thing would stay intact. If I were to cast Talking Corpse, I don't think that would disrupt the other spells. It would just be another layer of necromancy on top of what's there.
Yeah, that is correct. You feel like casting Talking Corpse wouldn't do anything wrong. Wouldn't break anything.
So I'm going to tell everyone my rationale. I'm going to cast a spell that will give a semblance of false life to this person. We can ask 3 questions. Now, I'm going to share something with you that is not really a secret. Actually, Talking Corpse is uncommon. It would be kind of secret.
We would probably just assume you know a bunch of weird shit, though. Like,
Here's what I can share without certain entities getting upset with me. If you were to try to cast this spell on a body that doesn't have, like, it's like a skeleton, for example, that doesn't have its shit intact, good luck getting any answers that are useful, right? I have never seen the body that was this intact that wasn't freshly dead. And for thousands of years, presumably, whatever answers we get, we need to take very seriously. Because we only get 3 questions, and then it takes a week before you can even cast a spell like this again. So,
we don't have that time.
We don't have that time. Here are the questions I'm thinking of asking. The first is, who is the Ifriti? Or rather, describe the personality and physical appearance of the Ifriti guardian of the labyrinth. Right? So we can confirm ourselves. That's just for us. Second, I think we might want to ask about the relationship between this priestess and Nyarlathotep, or because we know that god has a big role in this world, but it's not the only Osirian god. And what was your Bastet?
Mm-hmm.
Bastet, and who was the sister?
Hathor.
Bastet and Hathor, I believe, would be enemy gods to Nyarlathotep. So I want to explore the dynamic there. Do we know if back then, during that first age, was when Rovagug first came?
You think that the first one was before that, before this pharaoh. So the gods would have known about that. This pharaoh may not have known about that original fight. May have, but definitely would not have been there.
Okay, so this would have been sometime after the first, like sealing of Rovagug. Got it.
But this is still a very ancient pharaoh.
Yeah. So I think we want to keep our questions about Osirian specifically. So like the Afridi would be the first one. I think the second would be the relationship between these gods. And maybe something about Nyarlathotep, like a weakness or an origin that this priestess would know that we wouldn't, because they have knowledge locked away.
I was kind of thinking something alongside them, like what could help benefit us.
Yeah. Lastly, I would want to ask the purpose of her preservation. Why was she preserved so...
I mean,
so well.
Reese would already be able to tell you it's because of how high-ranking she was and how important she was. That's a waste of a question.
Reese is probably correct on that one.
Just from
If-
Elliot's brain of info
I'll give you that
dumping.
one. Reese is right.
In
Yeah.
that case, in their culture, what is undeath? How is that sort of viewed? Because
Are you talking about the
having-
ancient culture of it?
yeah,
They would have seen it as an extension of life.
Yeah.
They would have been revered.
Like
Not
if,
like the modern times where people are like, oh, necromancy's evil.
yeah, no,
it
like
would've been
so
this.
she would feel most likely if she were brought back to her body would feel honored by that.
Almost assuredly.
Yeah.
It might be useful to have a high priestess of the sister of your god, Baphet, if we're
Baphet,
going against
yeah.
Nyarlathotep, right?
Oh yeah.
I guess I'll ask, my last question would be, would you have in life consented to being brought back with your mind and soul intact?
Yes.
I will ask to get
Yeah.
consent.
Cool.
Yeah,
so
that
we know if we
makes-
can bring her back.
Yeah. No, any general Egyptian dead question type thing, you could ask Reese. That would have been a waste of a question because Elliot is a
fair.
geek and knows these things because their brother
you
was
were an
into
ancient
it.
Egypt kid. I was an
My
ancient
brother
Greece
was.
kid.
My brother was, so therefore osmosis.
I was also an ancient China kid.
That's
I'm going to look
valid.
over to Cecil and I say, before we do any of this, Cecil, this is your horde. When you received this boat, did you have any relationship with those from Osirian, the royal family, or any of them? Did you know
Not-
this person in life?
Not at all. I simply thought it was a very shiny boat. Would make a good addition to my horde. I found it several hundred years ago, but I just thought it was art.
Honestly, you're getting a free appraisal for your art and the historical context. It's probably going to up the value quite a bit.
Yes, I shall contact Sotheby's.
Yeah, don't take this to a pawn shop. They're just going to fucking play hardball the whole time and give you a shitty deal.
It belongs in a museum.
So I'll look to everyone and say, "Hi, let's cast this spell."
Do you need any
And-
assistance?
I don't think so. It just
No,
kind
this
of
one's
happens.
a regular spell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the casting time takes 10 minutes, but the duration is also for 10 minutes. So I sit here and I do the talking corpse. I am very careful and delicate not to touch or disturb any of the existing enchantments, though normally that wouldn't be an issue since it's got a range. The range is touch. I have reach spell. I will meta magic this because I don't
Ooh.
want to touch. So I'm going to
I
meta
like that a
magic to
lot.
reach to make sure I don't disturb this corpse in any way, shape, or form.
And after a few moments, you see the shadows weave across. They dance over the bandages. They dance across her flesh. They eventually go into her eyes, and they open, and they look to you, and they blink, and a slight smile curls on her face.
Do we know her name from the epitaph on the...
Ma'at, pharaoh
Ma'at.
of the song and sovereign god king of all, warmed by Ra. I will send that to you in Discord right now if you want
Sure.
her full and proper title.
That's the full name. Hey, I can invoke true name and shit.
Yes,
So that's
that
important
is-
for me.
That is her full name right there.
So I will begin the question by addressing her by this. Ma'at, pharaoh of the song and sovereign god king of all, warmed by Ra. Please, I beseech you to describe the Afriti guardian of the labyrinth that guards the evil that is trapped within.
A sweet voice emanates from this woman. And again, you get chills, Zavid, because her vocal cords have even been preserved. You're used to this spell being scratchy skeletons.
Ah, well, we died in the war.
Kind of stuff. but
Yeah.
she speaks out and says,
The Afriti Guardian, Balag Mahar, is a tricky and prank-playing creature.
and I will give you that name as well. Balag Makar.
I look over to you, Reese, and I'm like, I just got your dad's real name.
Reese is just like,
if that is all that she says, then I'll move on to the next question, which is, as most high priestess of what's the name
Hathor.
again? Hathor, what weaknesses can you tell us of the despicable god Nyarlathotep?
He hisses and the sounds of snakes echo in your ear. She says,
Nyarlathotep comes from beyond the stars. It is not of this place. Beyond the newly forming one at the outer reaches.
give me a religion check to see if you understand what that means.
Are they, the newly forming, are they talking about Octurne?
Yeah, you got it. I won't make you roll then. If you got it, you got it.
So Octurne showed up around the first age, is what I'm reading from this.
Mm-hmm.
I see. So the first conjunction, Octurne wasn't even part of that.
Nope.
And in a way, it's the only good conjunction. Everything else is sort of a crazy wild thing. Right. This is just like, you can traverse the deserts more easily. And like, it's just kind of generally helpful during the conjunction. That's weird.
Suddenly
and I
dawns
love that.
on you that it will weaken Nyarlathotep when it aligns.
Oh.
It's the only thing that wasn't there. It's the only different element. It's the only ritual element that Nyarlathotep didn't know about last time. And it finally sinks in that that's why it doesn't have a negative downside. That's why it's only beneficial.
I like that so much. I like knowing that. It is the stranger. It crashed the party. Didn't know. Hey, I didn't know we were fucking up Galarian. I just wanted to be cool.
That's
I
right.
want people to like me. So Zavid's sort of just thinking about this in his head, like, okay, that's really important. Finally, Great High Priestess, in life, knowing that you could come back to this world through means of necromantic magic, would you consent to that process if done even by a stranger who wished to bring you back into this world?
She smiles sweetly. A single arm lifts up and she points to the other boat and simply says,
"Retrieve my Nemesis. I had my priests prepare my rise spell."
And then she goes,
Reese
and
goes
falls
immediately
back.
back.
The corpse is fully immobile. And the magic.
Get that Nemesis. Get that Nemesis. Let's go.
Yeah, Reese goes. Reese knows where it is. They're gone. They're going. They're going getting.
Fantastic.
Wow.
I think this is a good time to take an intermission. Short little.
I think so
Good
too.
Perfect.
Give me 1 minute.
1 second.
We'll see you
Great.
guys soon.
Yes.
everyone.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. We're back from our break where we last left off. What, we good?
You're not Shane. Hold on.
We just moved around?
Yeah, but
I'll keep talking while you fix that. So, when we last left off, before the break, Lux Et Umbra had just opened the sarcophagus of Ma'at, the pharaoh of the song, asked her, and Zavid, using his magics, asked her corpse 3 questions, and determined that with the power of her golden nemes, her crown, she would be able to come back to this world in undeath. And that's why we're coming back. Reese had just scuttled over to the treasure boat. Picked the golden mask, snatched it off of its perch. Nothing happens when you do so. It was sitting just on a pedestal up against the wall within the treasure boat. And what do you do with it?
Honestly, takes a good look at it. Like, does
it's
some
beautiful.
like appreciative looking more than anything, not like trying to find answers, but if something clicks, but he looks at it, then he brings it back over to where Zavid is.
Zavid, you just see the craftsmanship that went into making this artifact. Not only the goldsmith, the benign artisan work that went into making this a beautiful, perfect recreation of her face, because as you're holding it in her death mask and looking at her perfectly preserved face, you can see every crease, every line is correct. Her eyebrows are in the right place. The makeup is the same. It's a true masterful work of art. And the necromancer in you feels the energy coursing through this mask. This has been prepared by a powerful necromancer, or several. You can even, it almost hums in your hand as you're attuned to this.
I sort of like look and examine it. And I think there's this thought that he voices aloud that says, you know, I never realized how maligned necromancy is today, because when I look at artifacts for royals, magical things of this nature that are crafted this well, it's never necromancy. It's always abjuration, divination, other schools. I find it breathtaking that there was a time when it was normal for royals and for societies to treat this school of magic the same way as anything else, and devote their treasuries, their resources to creating something this powerful, this beautifully made. I think this will be a very fun experience to bring back this person with what was prepared for us.
Yeah, we've always cared about when others have passed. I think it's just, maybe it's a Osirian-wide thing, but we honor still as much as we can. That's why your necromancy never really fazed me, because you just have that power. I'd never thought there was anything wrong with it.
Well, if I'm going to do this, I am sort of going to make Pharasma a bit pissed off. That's alright. Not my goddess. But I've already sort of asked for a bit of good grace from them in the past. I don't want to make a habit of making enemies of goddesses and gods.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to offer a brief prayer to Cabreri before I do anything. And I'm going to say, Cabreri, this is pretty fucking rad. I think you could agree we're about to use some high-class necromancy, something I think our following needs a bit more of. I'm going to learn all I can from this and incorporate this into our teachings. But you can just do me a favor and keep the other gods, the do-gooders, off my back, and not have them smite me the moment I'm out in the open sky again. That would be great. Well, that's it. That's my prayer. Just sort of like, I'm about to do some pretty cool necromancy. Please protect me.
Absolutely. So describe what you do. I'm very intrigued. You have
So
this
it's a
death mask. Yes, it's a golden death mask.
I start the ritual for Raise Dead. I have that ritual.
You do.
And normally there is a time limit, but this mask, I imagine, makes that time limit not matter. It's like this as the focus of that allows them to come back at any time. As long as it's them intact with the mask. It's got to be like, you got to have every piece. And so she got very lucky that this dragon took her things down here to be kept safe, essentially.
And you also are able to look around you and you see there's piles of diamonds everywhere. The material components are here in this dragon's hoard. You're able to just have Khan and Reese go around and pick them up. You know, Khan stores some of them in her cheeks. Yeah. There's plenty enough diamonds for this.
I gotta look up Raise Dead real quick just so I know how this works. Is that a... Oh, Resurrection is the spell. Raise Dead is okay, sorry. So Raise Dead is the spell. Resurrection is the one I have, which is better.
Yes, better. Yes.
Yes, this one. Wrong Resurrection. Where are you? Resurrection. Resurrect. It's just called Resurrect.
Yes, Resurrect. Diamonds worth a total value of 75 GP times the target's level.
And it takes a day to cast this.
But with the mask, we'll say that is lower.
Okay. The one dead creature up to 10th level, it says.
But you're doing it at 7th level because you have 7th level spells. So it can be you can do it with even a small portion of the body. The ritual creates a new body on a success or critical success if need be. Target must have died within the past decade. Now, see, that's an interesting thought that crosses your mind. Roll me a religion check in the tower.
Sure.
You think that might be a problem. However, you realize just how well preserved she is. She looks like she died yesterday. The preservation might be enough to compensate for that specific barrier.
Yeah. I think both of these say that if Pharasma has decided that the target's time has come. However, the lengths to which this has happened, the fact that we're not, I mean, she's young. She died young. And I'm not...
She's not super young. She looks to be in her late 50s, early 60s even.
Oh, okay.
She's just extraordinarily well preserved.
I see.
Yes, she does not look young.
I would say then, even so, I would say like, what I'm doing is not undead. It's necromancy. It's a powerful like it's thousands of years, millennia spanning necromancy ritual that is now being finished now. I'm starting to realize I don't think Pharasma would be against it in principle. It's literally, does Pharasma see the usefulness of bringing this person back for the greater good, for the greater fate of every other like soul that Pharasma has to kind of, because I mean, Rovagug comes back, that's a lot of work for Pharasma. I imagine that if this person is going to aid in the stopping of Rovagug, I think Pharasma would be like willing to allow them to come back for however many more decades until their time, the real time, has come.
Okay, yeah, I buy that.
Since I'm not making them an undead servant, I'm literally doing the raise or the resurrection. So, I'm gambling a bit, but
a little bit.
With all of this stuff in place, with all of the stuff that I know, with Cabreri I feel like he's gonna petition to them for me. I can't talk to really Pharasma, but Cabreri might be able to reach out and be like, I know you hate my fucking guts, but you know what we're up against, and you know how important this could be. So maybe he's hopefully not being an asshole and being somewhat diplomatic up there.
So I'm just going to go for it. I would need 2 secondary casters. The secondary check would be medicine and society. So luckily,
You have Khan.
both Khan and Reese are perfect secondary casters.
Khan is an expert in medicine.
Yeah.
And you do society, I'll do religion.
Yep.
We're so primed for this.
Are we towering or public?
Public, please. Ooh, Khan got a 30 on her medicine check. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, so then society?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those at home, if you want your own music, you can play Urbosa's theme from Breath of the Wild. It matches this very, very well.
Okay, 31 for Reese.
Oh, I can do this. I've had heightened to 7th.
Yes, 7th.
Past decade, which requires signature. Each of whom must be at least half the target's level. The target can be up to 14th level, which is nice base cost. Okay. Excuse me. So what did Khan get? What did Reese get?
Khan got a 30 medicine, and Reese got a 31 society.
So this gives me a +2.
And a guidance would be a 3.
Okay. And I think I have that ability that gives me even another sort of situation here. Like Ritualist gives me a +2 circumstance bonus.
Yeah.
So that's a +5.
5.
Yeah, and then I don't think Necromancer's Visage or anything like that gives me any further bonus.
No, but I will tell you that using that mask as the focus of the ritual gives you advantage.
I have advantage. That's
and I
super
still
good
have
to
a
know.
hero point if anything
Ooh,
fails.
that's good. That's essentially
All
super advantage. That's very, very helpful.
Yep.
All right.
Because yeah, Khan used hers for the day.
I'm using +5 in the thing.
Public, please. Yep.
I'm doing
religion, I think, right?
Yeah, religion. So I'm gonna do this twice.
Okay.
So that's the first. That's already pretty good.
Well, pretty good. +5 again.
Okay.
All right.
And then hero point.
Do you want to try it?
We're gonna go for it. Yeah.
All right. +5 again, and see. We'll take the highest of these 3 rolls.
Wait, no, that was
No,
an 18.
that's so
that was
cocked.
an 18. No, that was so
That was
cocked.
so-
I'm
No,
calling that an 18.
18.
That's the
Let's
second
see.
time that happened to
That
me today.
is.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
I'm
gross.
calling that. So
29 plus 18, what is that?
47.
Okay.
So that is a critical success, actually. The DC was 35.
Okay.
So you beat it by 12. I want you to... Are you using, like, the mask and your staff? And what all are you doing for this ritual?
I am using the staff as my personal focus, but I'm using... That's just me channeling the magic through the mask. The mask is the focus of the ritual for me. I have the mask placed on her face for this, very delicately placed on her face. And as you all are doing, I'm kind of leading you through the chants and
I
everything.
think what Reese is going to do is touch his hand to the hieroglyph side of things. Just to kind of like...
part.
Yeah, to the story part, just kind of like... just his appreciation for everything, just how his society effects in this is just kind of like more so how he values and appreciates everything that's going on and is just putting all of his highest hopes into what Zavid is doing because of how important it is to him.
And
On his anointing with oils.
Yeah, so with that, all the society stuff you're giving us, and then with us knowing ancient Assyrian and doing it in that language, I feel like all the stars are aligned in its own little conjunction for this specific ritual. As I'm sort of doing this like magic, this resurrection spell, essentially what the chant is saying is, once you have died, but death is not the end. Now you shall return to finish your reign out in its entirety. To Assyrian in the year, and I'll like name off the date and everything like that.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
It's it was negative 3,040 29.99 years ago. Negative 29.99. It's 7,722 years ago.
So I'll say to retake your ancient throne, to be the most recent ruler of Assyrian in that empire, and essentially kind of a bit of a an ego stoking here of this person, and kind of try to speak to their soul from the afterlife, from the boneyard, wherever they're at the moment, to bring them back. Like, it is your time to come back.
And as you're doing this, your magic, you're looking upwards, which is generally what you do in a resurrection spell, because Pharasma is generally seen as being upwards. And as your magic comes down, you expect it to come from above, but in front of you, on her, you hear a sort of shatter noise. And the mask has a glowing, shadowy fog around it, and it shatters and enters into the body. And she sits up.
Was her soul in the mask?
It was.
Ah!
She looks around, removes the mask, and you see half of her face is beautiful and gray-skinned and perfectly preserved. The other half is a spirit skeleton phasing in and out from her actual skin.
Okay, but
she removes the mask and says, "Greetings, and thank you, Necromancer. We are Ma'at, Pharaoh of the Song, and Sovereign God King of all warmed by Ra. Who, pray tell, are you, cleric?"
I am called Zavid, Umbromancer of Cabreri. Not the most kind god. I am aware that some relationships in the past might have been strained. However, we bring you back in a time of great need, where even former enemies work together.
And Reese just kind of looks over to her and is just like, and I might have a title that's a little bit more important than that one. That's less appalling.
All right, we don't have to do a
No.
dick measure contest here. Come on.
No, but I am the son of Ifriti.
An Ifriti, are you? You appear to be an elf.
That's I know, but I was raised.
Unless you speak of Balag Makar.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
we suspect
that would be
so.
the one.
I see. So the Guardian lives yet. Wonderful.
If he died, he'd make a scene of it.
Is Zalish Kar still within the bottle?
As far as I know.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
She starts looking around and says,
"Where am I?"
So, let us catch you up on what's going on. First, we are speaking Ancient Osirian to you because we have cast a spell that allows us to do this. However, that, as you know, is ancient. It is thousands of years in the future. The Osirian Empire no longer exists as it once was. It is a lot of scattered cities and city-states that live in the desert, with a lot of just desert or, separating these areas. It can be very dangerous and very wild here. We are here because there is an entity I'm sure you know the name of, Rovagug the Rough Beast.
You hear just whispers coming from every direction as you say that.
Sealed by our ancestors, even your ancestors, a conjunction is on its way to release this beast once upon, not once upon a time, but again, once upon our chill realm. The unfortunate thing is that certain gods we mutually dislike, for example, Nyarlathotep, as well as Lamashtu, Mother of Monsters, and one I don't know if she had ascended to godhood during your time, but Urgathoa, the Pallid Princess, a goddess of undeath.
Yes, we know of her.
These gods, Cassandra Lee as well, goddess of, I think, order or magic or something?
Information,
are trying to resurrect the Rovagug in an attempt to reforge the world anew in a new image and destroy their enemies, but they are foolhardy, these gods. They believe they can control the Rough Beast, and nobody can control the Rough Beast.
Fools.
Here, and I gesture to Reese.
We have a follower of your goddess's brother, Bastet, and
Well met, well met, cleric of Bastet.
Well met.
We are High Priestess of Hathor. Oh, you are welcome within our house.
It is much appreciated, and it is an honor to meet you. Beyond anything in my life, this is one of the best things that has happened, next to Mythanar.
The honor is yours, I am sure.
So, the conjunction is about 4 months away. There is a bit of a... We used to speak with Dead on you before we brought you back because we weren't sure if you would consent to this. And you told us that the alignment of Octurne the Stranger is what weakens Naratotep. So our goal here in the desert is to reunite with Reese's father, the Ifrit, Balag Makar. I'm sure that would be interesting for you as well, to see how he's doing.
Yes, we would like to see how our labyrinth is maintained.
Oh, I have not destroyed it, don't worry. Him, on the other hand, don't know.
My child, you could not destroy my enchanted labyrinth if you tried.
She bats her eyes at you.
I love that it's her labyrinth and not his labyrinth.
And Reese, he's into that and loves it.
Like, we are the one who gathered the genie. We are the one who had the earth genasi raise it from the living rock. We are the one who gathered the water genasi to flood it. It is our labyrinth.
I cannot wait for you to say that to him.
I've never met this Ifriti, but from what I've heard, he has a bit of an ego. So, seeing his boss come back to check on things would be a very big surprise.
With his escaped son.
Yeah, I think that'll be a very pleasant surprise for us at the very least.
We think that perhaps Balag Makar would like to hear his banishment word.
We'll see. He might have been doing a good job. He never left the labyrinth. He's done his charge. So, I mean, he might actually be very faithful. I just think maybe he kind of lets it go to his head.
Oh, you think he has a choice? We have bound him to the labyrinth. He cannot leave.
Oh, that's why he... Oh, okay. He said that I could try to leave, but good luck, basically. But I left, so that's funny.
And
it's because he can't.
He facilitates that which he cannot have. It is his curse. And she chuckles to herself.
Wow, we're a bunch of assholes. All right, well, there's that. One of our goals here in Osirian. The other one is to find... there is a royal bloodline whose blood can be the way to open up the prison of Rovagug. We have 3 of them secured, but there's one here in the desert who is in a sort of... I think she is traveling with those who could protect her using a sort of sandstorm as cover. However, when Octurne comes into effect, that sandstorm won't be able to protect them any longer, I believe. So we want to be able to catch them before that happens. Otherwise, our enemies get access to her and her blood, and that would be bad.
It sounds as though you chase the great Mohatnus, the sandstorm that follows no weather.
I believe you might be right. I did not know it had a name.
It is a turtle.
Would
a grand turtle.
No.
Okay.
You did not know that.
Okay.
She says, it is a turtle. A grand turtle with a city upon its shell.
That
wanders the desert sands where it once.
I mean, thousands of years. Yeah, turtles live pretty long. Makes sense, I guess.
Especially for a grand turtle.
It's a grand turtle.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mohatnus is not easy to find. One nearly needs to not know where they're going to find it.
So we might ask you to to not guide us then. Maybe accompany us, but blindfolded so that we may get lost enough to find it. The last thing I will say, since you asked, this is your original question, where you are. We are off the coast of Assyria. This cave is the treasure hoard of the now past, what was his name?
Sicilicash,
the sea dragon. And I allow him to sort of introduce himself.
He comes over, greeting, and he hisses in draconic, or like necrol, greetings, your majesty, and bows his head because he's a dragon. He knows that respect is important. And she, in turn, recognizes and says, we salute you and recognize you as friend, to the dragon.
Seems after your death and your barges went out to sea, Cecil secured them into his hoard, keeping them safe for the last several thousand years, even until Cecil's own demise. Now you both are back and can have a proper conversation.
I did not know that you were in there and viable. Yes, my clerics were quite clever. Instead of releasing my soul to the afterlife, they stopped it in time within my mask. And this clever creature broke it.
And she reaches up and barely touches your cheek, and you feel just almost like touching a light socket, or not a light socket, but like a light switch when you get a little jolt of static.
Yeah.
It's like that, but you feel necromantic energy pulse through your cheek. And roll me a religion check in the tower.
Sure. Does it create like a tumor? Like
that would be awesome.
I'd be like, refrain. Oh, in the tower.
Yeah, tower. And it suddenly hits you like a ton of bricks. In life, her last act was to have her clerics make her a lich. You're in the presence of a lich.
Okay. I say, all right. Sick. I thought we were bringing you back to life, but you were already a lich when you were interred, it seems.
Yes, I was.
By the way, everyone, she's a lich. Forgot to mention.
I kind of figured there was something more about her anyway.
Yes. At least you're not, I mean, you have a bit of a mummy look to you, but you don't have mummy rot or anything like that. You were preserved well.
Disguises. And she kind of does this with her hands, and at parts you see her face turns into a full skeleton. Her arms turn into wrapped bandages, but then she waves them again, and her skin goes back to that beautiful, soft gray that's very similar to your own, Zavid. And her hair has just little small streaks of gray within it.
I love how, like, she's soft gray because she's thousands of years dead. And I'm soft gray because I'm just gross. And I'm like, ugh.
She's less slimy.
Well, you know a bit of our mission now. We are under the water at the moment, but we would not dream of bringing you up to the surface and getting any of your articles wet. So we will probably have to create a sort of bubble vehicle transportation method to get you up there. Here's an idea, and I look over to Cecil. If I were to create a sort of bubble cage within your ribs, would you be able to bring her with you up to the surface?
Certainly.
You'll feel full for the first time in a while, I bet.
You two are going to become...
It would be nice to have something stick to my ribs.
You guys will become close friends.
I have a feeling. Let us go. Before we do, Cecil, do you have anything in your hoard you would recommend for our journey? Since I don't think I am going to be taking you with us into Assyria. It's not a agreeable terrain for you.
Yes, I am not able to walk across the desert sands. However, perhaps.
And he swims down into here. And let me see here. What could be useful? I hadn't actually come up with anything particularly good. Let's see here.
We got
Oh,
the
that's
greatest
right.
good.
That's right. There is something I had planned to give you. Thank you. Thank you. He swims down, and in his claws, he picks up something, little purple cloth thing, and swims back over to you. And he says, I've always used this to store my old coin collection. And he hands you this cloth sack. It looks like what's that alcohol that always comes in the cloth, the purple bag, Crown Royal or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, Crown
Looks
Royal.
like a crown,
yeah.
like a Crown Royal bag, but it's heavy. He hands it to you, and you realize it is a bag of holding type 4.
Is that like the best kind?
No, but it's up there. It's a 13th
Okay.
level, and I had planned to give you guys that anyway. So
Sweet.
I'll drop that in your inventory. And so you know, within it has many coins of Assyrian make, gold, silver, copper, old, new, many hundreds of years breadth worth of coins from this roughly this area. So it's in your bag there.
So we've got a wallet that can just kind of get us what we need.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice. This is going to be so helpful because looking at all of this gold is starting to make me feel sick. But if I could hide it in a big, like, coin purse, I won't need to.
You want me to hold on to it? You know that it's there.
Right. What I'm asking is how confident are you that you will not, that you can wriggle out of danger? Because I can wriggle out of danger. I feel like I can keep this away from most folks. How confident are you that you will not?
What kind of stat would we check for that?
Usually acrobatics.
Okay,
like
yeah.
if you're tied up or whatever, it's acrobatics or athletics, I guess. It's either.
Okay, so acrobatics have a +19 and athletics have a +19. What is David's?
I have a 21 acrobatics. Athletics is 14, but I have feats, a lot of acrobatic feats that allow me to swap to that instead.
Then David just goes, sorry, that's a first.
What are you doing?
Reese just...
Why am I so handsome? Oh, Reese, what's going on?
No, Reese just goes, you know what? You are pretty slippery. I trust you. But if you need somebody to hold on to it, if you're feeling the urges, I'm pretty dexterous myself.
I trust you to, at least if I need you to keep it away from me, you can play keep away.
Oh, happily. Me and Con will have fun.
I also have a 25 will save, so anything that tries to take over my mind to like give it up or something, I have a pretty decent chance at resisting with a 20 wisdom and all that. So
that's good.
And I think I'm expert in will saves too, so that helps.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great. So the plan is to put Ma'at into the rib cage of Cecil and then make your destroy water bubble move up with him.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I love high level Pathfinder. This is so great.
Yeah. Essentially, I don't even need to cast another spell because Cecil can just go up into the bubble. She goes in, and then I could do like a second level air bubble to just sort of like seal it in between the ribs, and then it would just last a minute. So as long as they go up to the surface within a minute.
With that dragon, yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Yeah. Cecil's so fast underwater.
Yeah, I'll let them do that. I trust a lich and a sea dragon to be safe on the surface.
Yeah, they'll be fine, I think.
In the meantime, we'll pick through what's here in the horde, anything we find useful. Are there any magic items? I'll do detect magic to see if I can find anything that might be useful.
There are many magic items, and essentially, like, for lack, just pick something 13th level or lower and run it by me first, but then it might be here within reason. So let's see, items. Yeah,
so
if you can.
I have something, it's a level 4 thing that I would like a better thing for. I have the finely crafted scarf worn by Consul of Targic during the quest for Sky.
So
strands of mithrils woven within the fabrics. This scarf is engraved with a fundamental rune and can be etched with a property rune. I don't think I added any runes, but it gives me a +1. It's a +1 resilient Targathi dwarven battle scarf.
Right.
Battle mage scarf. Can I get whatever appropriate upgrade to get my AC higher?
Yes. That would just be a rune. So let me look real fast.
Yeah. Or like if there's another rune that I can also replace with that other resilient or something, if I can get some.
Yeah, let's see. Fundamental runes. Armor potency +2 is a level 11, so you can absolutely get a potency rune.
Okay.
And then property runes, there's some neat ones. I'll send this to you in Discord, this list. Armor property runes. With a +2, you can have up to 2 of those.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and change your armor to a +2 right off the bat.
Okay,
and
yeah.
you have had that for 5 ever. So
I've had that since level 4, yeah. So
yep.
it's time for an upgrade, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So there, your AC is now 33, and that list I just sent you on Discord, pick any 2 of those level 13 or less. And we'll say, yeah, if you're just getting runes, you can totally have whatever you want.
So give me a minute. I gotta go. I'll be right back.
Sure.
But I'll come back to choose.
And then Reese, you also have a moment to look around and see if there's anything specific you want in this dragon's hoard. Cecil is more than happy to share because all of you brought him back to one life.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much have whatever you want. There's statuary, there's urns, there's gold, there's jewels, there's...
At this point, gold and jewels, like, is fine, but he already has enough just from what they have as a party. I think what he'd want is something that is another thing that's kind of enchanted of sorts. There's a bunch of different stuff here. Holy hell.
Yeah, anything level 13 or under, pretty much. There's like boots of speed, Ioun stones.
You know, I think he might just take something like Glamored.
Just a Glamored art? Let's see here.
Because he has that for when he looks royal, but just in general, he doesn't have anything other than, like, if he needs to blend in.
Yeah, you can definitely have a Glamored rune. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Is there anything better?
I'm not sure. Probably.
What is this? Ah, I found something cool.
Cool.
So, while you're searching through runes, you managed to find a +2 rune. And I'll just give all 3 of you +2 runes to your armor, because you're level 13 now, and this is about the time you would get that.
Okay.
So, combat, you have a +2, and then Con now has +2 to item bonus. Great. So you and Con just got a bunch of AC, and you can have 2 property runes, the things I just linked in Discord. And you said Glam 1. And I found another one that you're going to want.
Probably invisibility?
Or I found Winged, which allows you to fly temporarily.
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll link that here. It's 2 actions. You command your armor to sprout wings, and you grow ephemeral wings that are tangible, granting you a fly speed of 25 feet or your land speed, whichever is slower. This effect lasts for 5 minutes or until you dismiss it, and once the effect ends, the wings disappear completely, reappearing in their ephemeral form 1 hour later. So once per hour, you can have 5 minutes of flight speed.
Oh, that's dope, yeah.
And they essentially have permanently large, ephemeral, like, see-through wings all the time, but for 5 minutes
I was just looking
at
Winged. I just saw. I was like, what?
So yeah, Reese found a winged rune, and then whenever Eldritch is back next time, we'll allow Eldritch to pick armor runes.
I can't do winged if you're doing winged. I can't step on your toes. How cool that is! I have to do a different one now.
Honestly, you should do spell breaking.
Spell breaking looks cool. Let's see, energy adaptive.
Yeah.
Some of these look really sweet. Stanching? These symbols close bloody wounds. Oh, I get a lot of bleed damage frequently. This would be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Fortification.
All right, so Reese, you are now rocking a +2 resilient glamored winged breastplate.
Oh, beautiful.
And Khan is wearing, what is she wearing? Inventory. +2. Whoops. Resilient studded shadow leather. So Khan can get one more rune. I don't know what. Is there an invisibility rune?
Yes,
Not really.
there is.
There is?
There's a greater one of invisibility too.
Greater invis? Cool. I'm calling it that then.
I think that is definitely what Khan should have, because I was thinking Reese would either have that or the glamour.
Greater invisible shadow leather. Cool. So Khan now has +2 resilient studded greater invisible shadow leather. And then Zavid, what did you pick for your 2 runes?
Sorry, I just got back. I'm reading them now.
13th level or lower. You can have whatever runes. All right. Well, while you're looking for that, we can have them moving onwards because I have the next thing essentially ready. So once you find your runes, is there any last minute thing you want to do inside the here?
No.
No. Okay. So you begin to swim up out of that hole, and you can close Cecil's cave now. And eventually you have to kind of actually give me a survival check, Reese, publicly to see if you can follow where Cecil went.
Okay.
Because as you come out of that hole, you start to see all of the driftwood and the wrecked out.
Oh
ships
God,
from,
so Sweetie,
So-
he can't see shit.
Yeah, you can't see anything because there's too much driftwood in the way.
Yeah.
You're not entirely sure which way they went. Zavid, though,
That was a one.
do you have any kind of ability to track undead? Or can you, like, sense undead in any way?
Yeah, there's a
necromancer.
spell for that.
There's a spell for that.
Yeah, hold on. Control F. Undead. 24.
24 entries,
Fucking
of course.
Sanctified ground, serial light. No, that's all positive stuff. We don't want that. We don't want positive energy stuff.
Mm-mm. None of that positive bullshit. This is a negative group.
Let's see. Heal, harm, disrupting, animate, disrupt, chill touch. Maybe I'm looking up the wrong word here. Let's see, locate.
Locate, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, there's locate, and then there's detect creator, which is specifically finding the creator of an undead, which is good, and I probably would maybe have that, but I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I
it
think
looks
I would
like
need
okay. So
paladin stuff.
Pathfinder 1 had a detect undead spell, and it was available to clerics, and it's a first level spell. So I'll say if you want to just burn a first level spell slot out, you can cast that.
Okay.
Because it's a Pathfinder 1e spell, and it's a first level spell. So
I'll burn a first level then.
Cool.
To do that.
So you do get an extremely powerful ping of necromancy to the southwest. It's unmistakable that it's almost like a lighthouse beacon, feeling this lich. So without much effort, you get a bead on Ma'at very quickly and are able to lead the group.
Okay. Detect, I think, is the word I should be looking up. Detect.
Okay.
Undetectable alignment, detect poison, detect alignment, see auras of a chosen alignment. That would be a pretty good way to get around it. That's a first level spell.
Mm-hmm.
Read aura, detect magic, do. Discern lies. Okay, yeah. So, like, okay, is a specified object, and you could do a creature or ancestry instead of an object, which you must have seen up close to the creature or ancestry you want to target. So, like, if I were to go specifically, I could do locate at level 5.
Gotcha.
But detect alignment at level 1 is a 30-foot emanation.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 30 feet, but essentially anything within 30 feet, I can, if I heighten it to second level, I can learn the location and strength of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So power. I'm guessing powerful.
Yes.
Something. Powerful necromancy.
Powerful, good necromancy. It's
Okay.
very strange to you. It's a bizarre, unusual feeling because necromancy is not inherently evil. It's just that the society has made it so that mostly only evil people do necromancy. So it's a little unusual for you to feel this level of goodness within necromancy, because necromancy is just life and death.
And we live in a society too.
Yeah.
We do live in a society. So with her being essentially a beacon, you are eventually able to make the party swim towards the shores. A blood red sand with almost sharply cut dunes lead to a little inlet where the inner sea comes into land. And you can see upon the shore is Ma'at sitting within the rib cage of Cecil, halfway still within the surf. And she gives you a bit of the Miss America wave as you breach the surface.
Yes. Air. That's always a weird adjustment from water to air.
Yes, it is a little uncomfortable once you get used to one, you know?
Yeah. Different pressure. Alright. Let's go.
I think I know the runes I want.
Oh, sweet. What do you want?
I would like 2 spell breaking runes. One for evocation. I think one for necromancy.
Ooh, cool. Evo and Necro. There, I added that to your character sheet.
Yeah, so I get a +1 status bonus on saves and AC against both of those schools.
That's awesome. Evocation and Necromancy, that's going to be super helpful for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they wave you over at the shore, and you should be able to move. Yeah. By the way, DM tip, I have discovered that drone photography, high quality, makes for amazing battle maps.
Yes.
I don't know where this was taken, but it's a drone shot.
Nice, nice, nice.
I thought it was AI generated.
No, it's a drone footage. It's a real photograph of a real place.
That's
I'm
dope.
trying to distance myself from AI generated imagery as much as possible.
That's fair.
But if it's a if it's a picture taken by a drone by a person, that's not AI.
Yep.
Technically, no.
That's just a drone shot. Anyway, as you get to the shore, Cecil says,
I do not believe I can go any further. The sands would get between my bones.
That sounds most unpleasant.
I would agree.
and Ma'at snaps her fingers and begins to levitate and steps out of Cecil's chest and kind of she's hovering about 3 inches above the ground. She doesn't even move her legs like in stepping motion. She just moves.
Oh. So this is a new experience for me. But you two, High Priestess Pharaoh of Song, you know the Osirian of how it used to be, how it once was.
And
Some
I
things
know-
I'm sure have not changed. And Reese, you know the Osirian of today.
I
Between
do.
the two of you, we should find everything we're looking for.
Yes, it should be quite an interesting experience. I would very much like to see my kingdom once more. Now, I suppose this is where we say our goodbyes.
Yes, Cecil. I will call for you if I need you. However, I hope not to pull you away from your horde. Please, you have my permission and my encouragement to put all wards that you had back up on your horde, protect it as you see fit. Spend some time with your treasures. We will call upon you when we need you.
Thank you for this second chance at life.
It splashes down into the water and disappears beneath the surf.
Also, I'll get Rodtrot up here with us as well.
Okay, I can do that.
I can summon two. Well, yeah, I could summon two more. I'm gonna be out of 6th level spells if I do that, but I still have a 7th level, 3 4th levels, and 3 5th levels. 7th level, 3 5th levels, and then 2/3, 2 seconds, and 1 first. So I'm
So are you
running.
gonna get mounts for everybody, or you could
I
even
think
probably just get one big one for Reese and Con?
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna get the one that's for Reese. Which one did you get? Like, was it a
It was
wolf
an
or
owl.
An owl.
an owl? So I'm gonna summon that again.
Okay.
But for the pharaoh, I ask her, what form would you like your to take, since I would not ask you to walk across these sands unassisted.
Oh, that's a great question. Let me look. Holy crap! Actually,
I'd
probably
say
give
camel, but camel's pretty normal. If there was a different like elephant or some cool one that you were thinking of.
Let me find this 1 second. Is there not? Damn, there's not a entry for animal. Ah, there we go. Okay, yes. She looks to you and she says,
My chariot was always pulled by leopards.
I've got the perfect leopard image to conjure, and then I'll cast Phantom Steed to create a copy of Arwen.
Whoa!
So it has this ethereal, ghost-looking flame on it. It's not real, but it just looks fucking rad. This phantom copy of Arwen, but with a nice ornate saddle with like a backing on it and a little canopy for the sun. Just a very nice setup there.
There we are. Okay, so you make essentially Arwen from what you remember, this flaming leopard. And she with a very ornate saddle, jewels everywhere. She's got a veil in front of Arwen's face, and Ma'at sits atop Arwen and says,
Yes, this will do for our needs.
And she sits side saddle on top of the Arwen. And then Con and Reese, you're able to mount up on this large stark white owl with a little red star print on its forehead, and you're able to mount up.
We can fly, so let's do it. Fly above the sand so we don't have to be on the scorching dunes themselves.
It is a little bit hot. It is late in the day. The sun is setting, but you were able to take off. How high up are you flying?
I would like to get sweet aerial shots of the dunes. You know what I'm saying? Like when people send shit into the Sahara and then you could see like aerial shots of like camels and stuff. Like I want to get.
I'm so happy you're saying all of that right now. Go in that direction with your description while I'm finishing up what I'm doing.
Like I'm thinking like 300 feet up.
Cool.
Is a pretty good height where we can easily land in like a round or two if we need to, but it's not like we're not within striking range of most, like let's say there's purple worms and shit that are just like tunneling through. Like we're not gonna just and then just be done. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not
Reese
that I
would
know that
better.
there's.
Reese would know better. I think actually what he might do is just guide you and let you know, hey, so these things come up from about here. This is about here. We should be about here. He would know.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. I am now ready. Thank you. So as you're soaring over these dunes high above them, the endless rolling sands below you, you can see dunes casting shadows, and beneath you, you called it, you see a line of camels walking across the desert.
Amazing.
And look, I can actually, that's not part of the photograph. I can actually move them.
So good.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's not actually a part of that photo. But yeah, this is what you see in front of you.
Oh yeah.
Or beneath you, I should say.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of, as we're like kind of flying towards this way, can I get can I look? Perceive them?
I have a good, yes, throw perception checks in the tower, please.
Okay.
I'll get cons as well. Skills, perception.
Also, I haven't said it, but my sun hat is out for sure.
Of course, your giant floppy sun hat.
Yeah.
Perfect. Zavid, you don't know much about. You can't tell much about these people other than they're on camelback and they are traveling across the sands. Khan gets pretty much the same in interpretation, just people crossing the sands, maybe merchants. But Reese, you immediately spot that they're almost all wearing white and blue, which tells you that this is probably one of the nomadic tribes of Assyrian, not merchants.
Mm-hmm. And Reese just looks over to Zavid and just goes, "Nomads."
All right, so
We're good.
shall we continue or should we stop and speak with them?
No, we don't have time for that.
You're the boss.
Right.
We shall pass by, I guess, and I'll I'm not gonna
I just
do
like
anything.
having a move.
That's
Yeah.
so fun. I love it.
I'm not gonna I was thinking of doing some sort of illusion. I'm like, nah, they see some crazy shit in this desert. We're just gonna keep flying overhead.
Yeah, illusions. That's like yesterday.
All right, then give me stealth checks in the tower.
All right, stealth check. It's initiative, not what I need. There we go. I'll aid Elliot.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then as you do that, Ma'at snaps her fingers and casts Pass Without Trace on everyone. So I will add 10 to that roll. So yeah, all of you are whisper quiet. You're literally flying on an owl, Reese. Owls are the quietest birds out there. So you're a whisper above these people, and none of them seem to notice you as you pass by. So let me see. I'm going to show you the map here of Osirian. You are just past the coast of Graves in the very top center. You're a little bit inland from there, and you know that Shimon Sek is where you need to go.
Yep.
So it's not actually that far.
Nope.
And as the crow flies this high in the air, there's really nothing stopping you. So if you want to spend essentially the rest of the evening flying straight there, you can probably get there a little after sunset. Maybe a bit after sunset.
That's actually been perfect for resting and stuff too. So yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So do you want to stay a little outside of the city, or do you want to go into it directly?
I think a little outside.
Okay. So,
Which city are we headed for?
Shimon Sek. I'll circle it.
Yeah, I still got our main
that
map
one.
open. Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So, erase that. Yeah. So you're able to. You're flying very quickly. Your flying mounts are very fast at this point because you have high level spells, and you're able to get out there. No one on the ground seems to notice you. The only people you pass is that one group of nomads. But eventually it does come into view eventually. What you first see is a large body of water, crystal clear from this vantage point. But from here, you can even see down into it, and you can give me perception checks in the tower. You can see there's something in the water.
Something in the water. There's something in the water. Perception check.
Yeah, tower. Yeah, Zavid, you spot it. Reese, you're kind of too nervous to really notice this because you're so close to your home city that you don't even think to look in the water. But Zavid, you're flying over this and you glance down in the water and you can see there's a structure deep beneath the surface of stone. It's like a giant circle made of stone.
Now, can I make a check to understand what I'm looking at?
Crafting, tower, please. It's clearly a building. That what you're looking at is the ceiling. You're looking at the roof of some kind of a structure. Give me just a straight intelligence check because, yeah, in the tower. That one's better. You remember when Reese read the inscription on the side of Ma'at's sarcophagus, the story of Ma'at and everything, that Ma'at used all these different genie, the earth genie, water genie, fire genie, air genie. The earth genies created the labyrinth out of the living stone. The water genies flooded the top and covered it with water to hide it. So you think you're probably looking at the top of the labyrinth.
I'm gonna fly up next to Khan and Reese, and I'm gonna say, Reese.
Yep.
Is that it? I point down.
Reese would automatically know. So yeah.
Yeah.
Reese just looks. Yeah. Yep. That's it. That is 100% it. That's the tap covered by water.
Let's land then, and I'll inform our friends that we have found we're looking for. The sands shift,
Okay.
so we don't want to lose this. And then I'll call out to Ma'at. I'll be like, I believe we found it.
Ah, yes. I believe that's it there beneath these waves. What a quaint oasis. Ah, my palace still stands. I am glad to see that that trickster Balak Makar hasn't destroyed it on all these years.
And you realize that she's talking about the Lotus Palace, which at this point you can still see it. So I'll show you the map of Shiman Sek. You can see that this is a very lush oasis in the middle of just empty nothing sand. There's a large lake and a green city with a large lotus-shaped palace dead in the center that rises high above the sands, and a single strip of this green land that heads into the oasis and then down into the water.
There's a wall of wind as well. That's interesting.
Yes, on the western edge is you would know this, Reese. The western end does not have a rock wall. It has a constant spell of wind wall being cast, and that is the wall that they use.
It keeps the sand from blowing into the city, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're on to Labyrinth of Shiman Sek. It's almost like there's like a little sign like, come visit the labyrinth. It's
Eat
a
at
tourist
Joe's.
stop. Yeah.
I didn't even put that on there. That's just where it's at.
That's just where it is. I think in that case, as we're going down, do we want to stop here for today and then come back next week?
I was just about to say.
Next week is Easter Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, I don't mind playing on Easter, but if
I
got nothing to do on Easter.
Really? I mean, I just. Yeah. Okay.
All right. We'll talk to Elle. We'll see what's up.
Yep.
We'll see what's up.
Yeah, I think this is a good place for us to stop. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us, and we'll see where this takes us next time. We're finally in Assyrian. You're finally at Shiman Sek, so we'll see what happens with good old Dad next time on Tales from Shadow Valley. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.